On my birthday, my girlfriend bolted, texting, "My ex needs me. Don't wait up." I responded, "Got it." Then I packed her fancy clothes and had them delivered to her ex's place with a note. "She's all yours." 4 hours later, my ex was furiously calling me because she was sobbing on his porch with luggage. I, 29M, stared at my phone in disbelief. The message glowed mockingly on the screen. "My ex needs me. Don't wait up." On my birthday, the birthday dinner I'd spent weeks planning was sitting half prepared in the kitchen. The reservation at that impossible-to-book restaurant was just 2 hours away, and my girlfriend of 3 years had just walked out the door without so much as a backward glance. I'd been suspicious for weeks. The late nights at work, the sudden password changes on her phone, the way she tilted her screen away whenever I walked into the room. I wasn't born yesterday, but I kept telling myself I was being paranoid, that she wouldn't do that to me, not after everything we'd been through together. But standing alone in our apartment, watching the candles I'd lit slowly melt onto the coffee table, reality hit me like a freight train. She'd chosen him. On my birthday, I texted back just 2 words, "Got it." Then I did something I'm not particularly proud of, but don't regret for a second. I walked into our bedroom, pulled out her expensive suitcase, the one I'd bought her for our trip to Europe last year, and started filling it. Her designer clothes, her precious shoes that cost more than my monthly car payment, her jewelry. I packed it all meticulously, the way she liked things organized. I called a courier service that offered same-day delivery. "I need this delivered to an address across town. Tonight. It's urgent." The fee was ridiculous, but I didn't care. Some things are worth the expense. Before sealing the suitcase, I placed a handwritten note on top. "She's all yours. Happy birthday to me." I tracked the delivery on my phone while nursing a bottle of the expensive champagne we were supposed to share. The courier app showed the package had been delivered at 9:47 p.m. I imagined her ex's confusion. I imagined her face when she eventually saw it. I smiled for the first time that day. At 1:38 a.m., my phone exploded with notifications. Calls, texts, voicemails, all from her. I silenced it and poured another glass. At 2:15 a.m., a different number called. Her ex. I answered. "What the hell, man?" he shouted. "She's been sitting on my porch crying for hours. I have a girlfriend now. We're not even together. Not my problem anymore." I replied calmly. "She made her choice. She says it was just to help me move some furniture. It's my mom's birthday tomorrow," and I hung up, blocked both their numbers, finished my champagne. The next morning, I woke up to pounding on my door. I ignored it. Eventually, it stopped. I spent the day changing the locks, boxing up the rest of her things, and notifying the landlord that she would be removed from the lease. Some might call it an overreaction. I call it self-respect. If she could walk out on my birthday for an ex, what else would she walk out on? Our wedding? The birth of our child? No thanks. It's been 3 weeks now. Mutual friends say she's devastated, that it was all a misunderstanding, that I didn't give her a chance to explain. Maybe they're right. Maybe I acted rashly. But when someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. I've moved her remaining boxes to a storage unit and emailed her the details. I've returned to the gym, reconnected with friends I'd neglected, and even started dating again. Life goes on. And you know what? My next birthday will be better, because I'll spend it with someone who actually wants to be there. Update 1. It's been 2 months since the incident, as my friends now call it. I thought I'd update since so many people messaged asking what happened next. She eventually stopped trying to contact me directly and started using our mutual friends as messengers. According to them, she was just helping her ex move a couch for his mother's birthday the next day. Apparently, his regular help had canceled last minute, and he was desperate. She claimed she didn't think I'd mind since we weren't meeting for dinner until later. I might have believed her if not for 3 things. First, she didn't say she was helping him move furniture. She said, "My ex needs me." Those were her exact words. Second, she told me not to wait up, implying she'd be gone all night. Third, and most damning, one of my friends accidentally let slip that she'd been meeting her ex for coffee regularly for weeks before this happened. Something she never mentioned to me. So no, I don't believe it was innocent. And even if, by some miracle it was, who leaves their partner alone on their birthday to help an ex with anything? That's relationship 101. I did eventually agree to meet her for coffee to exchange some items we still had of each other's. She cried. A lot. Said I humiliated her by sending her clothes to her ex's place. That his new girlfriend saw the suitcase and now thinks they were having an affair. That she lost friends over this. I listened quietly, nodded at appropriate intervals, and when she finished, I simply said, "Actions have consequences. I hope things work out for you." She didn't like that. The coffee shop meeting ended with her throwing her latte at me and storming out. So much for mature closure. Here's where it gets interesting. A week later, her sister contacted me. We'd always gotten along well, and she wanted to meet. Over drinks, she confessed that my ex had been emotionally involved with her ex for months. Nothing physical had happened, but they'd been texting constantly, meeting for innocent lunches, and she'd been confiding in him about our relationship problems, many of which I wasn't even aware we had. Her sister apologized for not telling me sooner and admitted she'd only reached out because my ex was now trying to paint me as the villain in their family circle. She's rewriting history, her sister said, making you out to be controlling and paranoid. I couldn't stand by and let her do that. I thanked her for her honesty, and we parted on good terms. As for me, I'm doing better than expected. The apartment feels more like mine now. I've redecorated, adopted a dog from the local shelter, and I've been promoted at work. Life has a funny way of falling into place once you remove the things that were holding you back. Update 2. 6 months post-breakup, and things have taken an unexpected turn. Remember the ex she ran to on my birthday? Well, apparently they did start dating after our breakup. According to mutual friends, she moved in with him just 2 weeks after our coffee shop confrontation. Talk about a quick rebound. But here's where karma makes its entrance. Last week, I was at a bar with some colleagues celebrating a successful project when I spotted them across the room. They were clearly in the middle of a heated argument. I tried to mind my own business, but it's hard to ignore a scene when she's gesturing wildly and he's looking increasingly uncomfortable as other patrons start to stare. I was about to leave to avoid any awkwardness when she spotted me. The look on her face shifted from anger to something else entirely. She abruptly ended her argument, whispered something to him, and they both left. The next day, I received a text from an unknown number. I should have chosen you. I made a terrible mistake. I didn't respond. 3 days later, flowers arrived at my office with a card. I miss us. Can we talk? I donated the flowers to a nearby nursing home and blocked the new number. Yesterday, her sister called me. Apparently, history repeated itself. My ex caught her new boyfriend texting with yet another ex of his. The irony would be comical if it weren't so sad. She's a mess, her sister told me. She keeps saying you were right all along, and she wants to make amends. I told her sister what I should have recognized long ago. Some people don't change. They just find new people to disappoint. On a brighter note, I've been seeing someone new for about 2 months now. She's refreshingly honest, respects boundaries, and actually remembered my half-birthday last week with a small, thoughtful gift. Nothing extravagant, just a book by an author I'd mentioned liking. But it's the thought that counts, right? I'm taking things slow, being cautious with my trust. But for the first time in a long time, I'm optimistic about where things are heading. As for my ex, I wish her well, genuinely. I hope she figures out what she wants before she hurts someone else. But that journey is no longer my concern. Sometimes the best revenge isn't sending someone's clothes to their ex's house. Sometimes the best revenge is moving on and building a better life without them. Update 3. It's been exactly 1 year since that fateful birthday. A lot has changed. The new relationship I mentioned in my last update has blossomed into something special. She moved in last month, and living together has been surprisingly seamless. No drama, no suspicion, just mutual respect and genuine affection. It's amazing how easy relationships can be when both people are equally invested. As for my ex, well, this is where things get complicated. 3 months ago, she showed up at my workplace. Security called me down to the lobby where I found her looking disheveled and desperate. She begged for 5 minutes of my time. Against my better judgment, I agreed. Over coffee in the building's cafeteria, she handed me a sealed envelope. I wrote everything down, she said. The whole truth. Read it or burn it. That's up to you. But I needed you to have it. I put the letter in my desk drawer and left it untouched for weeks. Part of me wanted to know the truth, but a bigger part had finally moved on and didn't want to reopen old wounds. Eventually, curiosity won out. The letter was 12 pages long, handwritten. It detailed a relationship with her ex that had never truly ended, even when she was with me. Not physically cheating, she insisted, but emotionally entangled in a way that she couldn't seem to break free from. She described it as an addiction, knowing he was bad for her, but unable to stop seeking his approval. The letter ended with a genuine apology, not asking for reconciliation, just acknowledging the pain she'd caused and taking full responsibility. It was probably the most honest she'd ever been with me. I texted her a simple, "Thank you for the letter," and left it at that. 2 weeks later, I heard from her sister again. My ex was moving across the country for a fresh start. She'd been in therapy, was staying single to work on herself, and had decided to pursue the career she'd always talked about, but never had the courage to chase. In a strange way, I'm proud of her. Growth often comes from our biggest mistakes, and it seems she's finally learning from hers. As for me, today is my birthday again. The first one since the incident. My girlfriend planned a surprise weekend getaway. Nothing extravagant, just a cabin in the mountains with hiking trails and a hot tub. No cell service. No distractions. Just us. Before we left, I received one last text from my ex. Happy birthday. I hope this one is better than the last. It was a simple message, but it felt like the final page of a chapter that needed to end. And yes, this birthday was infinitely better. Sometimes losing someone who doesn't truly value you is the best gift you could receive. It makes room for someone who does. If there's one thing I've learned through all of this, it's that self-respect isn't just about standing up for yourself in the moment. It's about having the courage to walk away from people who don't deserve your time, even when walking away hurts. The suitcase incident might have seemed petty to some, but it was the moment I chose myself. And I've been choosing myself ever since. That's the real revenge. Living well, loving better, and never settling for less than you deserve.